Namaskar. As promised in our last webinar with you, I am uploading this video on illustration, few illustration on interest payable by the SSE, that is under section 234 ABC. Our illustrations cover mainly on 234B and C. Let's start with our illustration. First, this illustration covered provision of section 234C. Okay. A Limited made the following payments of advance tax during the financial year 2021. On 15th June 20, the company paid 3,70,000. On 15th September, the payment against advance tax is rupees 3,50,000. Similarly, on December 15, it has paid 10,25,000. And on March 18, the company paid rupees 8,80,000. Be careful. This was the payment for the fourth quarter in the month of March. It was paid on 18th June. The company is supposed to pay advance tax on 15th June. By 15th June, the company is supposed to pay 15% of their advance tax liability. By 15th September, 45%. By 15th December of the previous year, 75%, and by 15th of the March, 100% of the advance tax liability. Since it was delayed, it should not be considered. Our interest may be charged. It is considered as an advance tax because it is paid within 31st March. That means within the previous year itself, it is considered as advance tax, but interest liability will be there. How? We will discuss all this thing. The return of income is filed on 31st July 2021, showing business income rupees 80 lakh and long-term capital gain. The capital gain was on 1st December 2020, 10 lakh. Compute interest payable under section 234C. First of all, you are required to calculate your tax liability. How? Computation of tax liability for assessment year 21-22. Business income is 80 lakh. We are presuming that company is not taking the advantages of 25% rate. It is liable to pay tax at regular rate, that is 30%. 80 lakh at the rate of 30%. Tax liabilities comes to 24 lakh. Surcharge is nil. Turnover does not exceed, tax liability, your income does not exceed 1 crore and there is no surcharge. Education says that is 4%. Altogether it comes to 24,96,000. Similarly, long-term capital gain is liable at the rate of 20% and the tax liability on long-term capital gain is 2,08,000. Got it? It is not your actual computation. It is computation for interest, for computing interest liability under section 234C. Okay, that's why I did not calculate your income like 90 lakh. Your gross total income is 90 lakh. It is just for the purpose of computing interest liability under section 234C. You are supposed to pay advance tax 24.96 plus 2.08. Okay, if there is any TDS or TCS or any relief under section 91, 90 or any other relief, you are supposed to reduce that thing for the purpose of calculating your advance tax liability. In this illustration, there is nothing is given. Hence, we are presuming that you are supposed to pay this much of money by way of advance tax. Okay. Now, this is the table. By 15th June, you are supposed to pay 15% of your advance tax liability. On 15th of September, you are supposed to pay 45% of your advance tax liability. By 15th of December, you are supposed to pay 75%, and by 15th of the March, 100%. Okay, we all knows this thing. Now, on 24,96,000, that is the tax on your business income, because as on that date you did not know whether you will earn any capital gain or not, and one relaxation was there in respect of capital gain winning from lotteries and crossword puzzles and first year business income. You may defer your advance tax. Okay, 24,96,000 The 15% of this is 3,74,400. 45% is 11,23,200. And now in this period we added both. In this period we added both. Which one? This one, 24.96 plus 2.08. Why? Because your long-term capital gain arise on 1st December 2012 1st December 2020. Henceforth, we are supposed to match our advance tax liability in next due date, that is 15th December 2020. 24 plus 2 into 75%, 20 lakh 28,000, and by 15th of the March you are supposed to pay 27 lakh 04,000. It is cumulative figure. These are cumulative figure. Now by 15th of the June, how much you paid? On 15th of the June you paid 3,70,000. We reduce this thing. You are supposed to pay 3,74,400, but you paid only 3,70,000. Hence there is a shortfall. You are liable to pay interest under section 234C. Instead of rupees 3,74,400, you paid only 3,70,000. But there is some relaxation in case of first two installment. What is this? If instead of payment of 15% of your estimated advance tax liability, if you paid 12% of your estimated advance tax liability, then interest under section 234C does not arise. Hence, we are required to check whether we have paid 12% of advance tax liability by 15th of June or not. By 15th of June, your entire tax liability, your entire estimated advance tax liability is 24.96, and 12% thereof is 2,99,000. But you paid 3,70,000, which is more than 12% of your due amount. Henceforth, no interest is leviable for the first shortfall. Okay, got it? Now comes to next one. By 15th September, you are supposed to pay 45%, which comes to 11,23,200. How much you paid? I paid 370 plus 350. Altogether 720. I paid 7,20,000. In this case too, there is a shortfall, 4,03,200 shortfall. Now you are required to check whether you paid 36% of your estimated advance tax liability or not. Sir, we fails to pay 36% of our estimated advance tax liability by 15th of September 2020. Hence, interest provision under section 234C is applicable. Once interest provision under section 234C is applicable, then it is calculated considering 45%. 1123 you are supposed to pay, you paid 7,20,000. Shortfall of rupees 4,03,200. It should be rounded off in the multiple of 100 by ignoring fraction of 100. It is already round off. For how many months it is leviable? For the 3 months. 3 months into 4,03,200 into 1%. It comes to 12,096. Got it? Now third one. By 15th December you are supposed to pay 75%. How much? 20,28,000. In this installment we added both the figure. 20,28,000. How much you paid? You paid 370 plus 350 plus 10.25. Altogether it comes to 17,45,000. There is a shortfall of rupees 2,83,000 for 3 months into 1%. It comes to 8,490. Now last. 15th September 2021, you are supposed to pay 100% of your estimated advance tax liability. You are supposed to pay 27,04,000. But how much you paid, sir? 17,45,000. Why 17,45,000? This plus this plus this. But not this one. Why? Because it was paid on 18th March. This shall not be considered. You are supposed to pay interest thereon. Hence, we are considered only 17,45,000 difference. There is a shortfall of rupees 9,59,000. You are supposed to pay interest. It is already rounded off. If it is not rounded off, then you are supposed to do rounding off. 9,59,000 for 1 month. Last one is 15th March to 31st March, fraction of the month shall be considered as full month. 9,59,000 into 1 month into 1% comes to 9,590. Altogether it comes to 30,176. One question may arise, what happened to interest under section 234C if there is enhancement in our assessed income? 234C is supposed to be calculated on your returned income. Be careful. Got it? The computation will not change though assessment was enhanced. Okay. If you have any issue, if you have any confusion, please comment on our YouTube channel Tax Point India. Please subscribe to our channel Tax Point India. And in case of confusion, please comment. Now, our next example, that is relating to 234B. Firm furnished its return on 30th June 2021 showing income of rupees 1 lakh. The return shows that other particulars are as follow. Advance tax 20,000, TDS is only 1,000. The assessing officer assessed the assessment order enhancing by rupees 5,000 on 29th March 2022. Compute interest under section 234B. First of all, when at the moment of self-assessment, you are supposed to calculate interest under section 234B considering your returned income. However, the final figure will be computed considering your assessed income. Final figure of 234B shall be computed considering your assessed income. In case of 234C, your returned income shall be considered, and in case of 234A and 234B, your assessed income shall be considered. In our case, your assessed income is 1,05,000. 1 lakh that was enhanced by assessing officer while passing assessment order by 5,000 rupees. Altogether, it comes to 1,05,000. Tax and cess payable thereon. In case of firm, the rate of tax is 30% plus education cess 32,760. Such charge is not applicable. We are supposed to reduce TDS of rupees 1,000. Altogether, your assessed tax for the purpose of computing interest under section 234B comes to 31,760. You are supposed to pay this much as an advance tax. But how much you paid? You paid only 20,000. You paid only 20,000. Now you check whether you have paid 90% of your assessed tax liability by way of advance tax or not. 90% of 31,760 comes to 28,584. It comes to 28,584. Now, since you are supposed to pay 90% of your assessed tax by way of advance tax, that comes to 28,584, but you have paid only 20,000. Henceforth, you failed to pay 90% of your assessed tax by way of advance tax. Hence, provision of section 234B is applicable. Now, we satisfied the criteria where we are liable to pay interest under section 234B. If this figure A exceeds 28,584, suppose this one is 29,000. Suppose in that case you paid 90% of your assessed tax liability as by way of advance tax. Henceforth, you are not liable to pay interest under section 234B. But in our case, this is not the case. You paid only 20,000, which is short. Henceforth, you are liable to pay interest under section 234B. How much the shortfall? Why, if interest is applicable, if the provision is applicable, then shortfall is supposed to be considered, is supposed to be calculated by using this figure as reduced by this 31,760 as reduced by 20,000. This 28,000 figure shall not be considered for the purpose of computing your interest liability. This is used only for the purpose to determine whether the provision of section 234B is applicable or not. If it is applicable, then leave it. Okay. 31,760 as reduced by 20,000. The shortfall is 11,760, which is supposed to be rounded off. 11,760 is rounded off to 11,700 by ignoring fraction of 100. It comes to 11,700. Rate of interest is 1%. The period starts from the first day of the assessment year, which is 1st April 2020, and completes on the date on which your assessment order was passed. The assessment order was passed on 29th March 2022. How much months? Comes to 12 months. Any fraction of the month shall be considered as complete month. 11,700 into 12 month into 1% comes to 1,404. This is the calculation of interest under section 234B. One more question may arise. One more type of illustration may arise, that is like this. What happened if 11,760 was paid? 11,760 was paid at the time of self-assessment, at the time of filing return of income. In that, if this is the case, then your interest liability shall be proportionately done. How it will be done? Suppose you paid only 10,000 while filing your return of income, and in that case, for 11,760, suppose return was filed on 30th June, 1st April to 30th June, you are supposed to calculate interest on 11,760, and afterward you paid say 10,000 at the time of filing return of income. The shortfall is 1760. On this remaining 9 months, you are supposed to pay interest on 1760 after rounding off. Okay, got it? These are the illustrations. Suppose I think you know all these things. Suppose at the time of filing return of income, your tax liability is 1 lakh. Okay, your tax liability is 1 lakh. You did not pay any advance tax, or there is no TDS, and henceforth your calculated advance tax, your interest under section 234B and C is like this one. This is rough. I am not actually calculating. This is say given figure. Interest under section 234B and under section 234C, you are liable to pay this one. Okay, this is as per your self-assessment. Okay, now you paid only 1 lakh. If this is the case, your payment of rupees 1 lakh shall be first considered as your interest, that is 11,000, and we will consider 89,000 as your tax payment, and this one is considered against interest. Still you are supposed to pay 11,000 as tax. Your interest meter is still down. Be careful about that thing. Okay, if you have any doubt, please comment on this video. I am here. If try to resolve your doubts and or confusion, please subscribe our channel Tax Point India, YouTube channel Tax Point India. To visit, please visit eCourse Point. We are trying to establish some modern learning scenario for the purpose of taxation. Thank you.